Welcome to Empowered and Unstoppable, the show where high-achieving women crush self-doubt, ditch imposter syndrome, and step boldly into their greatness. I'm your host, Megan Bunnell, and together we'll unlock the mindset, strategies, and confidence you need to create unstoppable success on your terms. Let's dive in. Welcome back to Empowered and Unstoppable, the podcast for women who are done playing small, done waiting for permission, and done believing that they need more polishing or that they need to be more polished, more prepared, or more ready before they go after the life that they actually want. I'm your host, Megan Bunnell, life coach, speaker, and recovering overachiever, if I'm being honest. And around here, we don't just talk about success. We talk about what happens behind the success, the burnout, the identity shifts, the moments where life knocks you flat, and you get to decide whether you're going to stay there or rise differently. And today's episode, my friends, this one hits home. We are so lucky because my guest today, she is the kind of woman who doesn't just talk about transformation. She embodies it. She has lived at the highest levels of corporate leadership. She has navigated motherhood. We all know that's a trip, betrayal, burnout, financial devastation, and even cancer, my friend. And I know some of you are living in that world right now. But instead of letting any of that shrink her, she has used it as fuel. She is brilliant without being pretentious. She is spiritual without being a little woo-woo, right? And she is very, very neuroscience savvy, which you know I love, and deeply intuitive. She really helps women stop circling the same patterns and financially relaunch into lives that feel aligned and powerful and rich in every sense of the word. And the thing that I love about her the most is she doesn't sell motivation. She teaches movement. And we all know that that's where it comes from. And if that all isn't enough, my friends, she's a three-time best-selling author, award-winning peak performance coach, a former Silicon Valley CEO, founder of the ReLaunch company. And by the way, she's been named one of the Success Magazine's top 10 coaches of 2025. Right next to Mel Robbins, might I add, no big deal. And she's also the host of the top 1.5% podcast, ReLaunch to a Rich Life. And if you've ever thought, I know I've meant for more, I know that I'm meant for more, but I just don't know how to access it, my friends, she's your guide. So without further ado, I am so thrilled to welcome Hilary to the show. Hilary, welcome. We are so excited to have you.
Okay, Megan, you are darling. You are so good at that. And thank you. I sat there and I'm like, wow, I've been on literally, I think hundreds, if not, maybe even 1,000 now. And you have such great energy that I am so excited to be here and to get into our conversation. So thank you.
Well, you are so welcome. You know something? So I always look up all of my guests to really dive deep before I actually meet you, before I actually go into make sure that you're like the perfect fit. And you are, by the way. And you were so fun to look up. So my friends, if you don't know Hilary, though, something I didn't even ask, say your last name for us.
DeCesare.
So beautiful, DeCesare. So if you've never met and heard of Hilary DeCesare, go look up her website. It's the most beautiful thing that you've ever seen. And I've heard that her events are even more phenomenal. We'll get into that though. We'll get into that. Are you ready for this, Hilary?
I am so ready. I am so ready.
I start always with a fun question to really kind of pull the curtains back. So we're going to start with this random question. What is something that's quirky or weird or just plain human about you that people would never guess based on your bio, your success, your website, or working with you?
So there are many, and I thought, which one do I actually want to share? And I thought, a lot of people do not know this. I have been divorced and I got remarried, just celebrated and did a renewal of the vows with my husband, E, and our 5 kids, literally last week. And 10 years it's been, 10 now. And we are literally, I think we have been reincarnated as Ricky and Lucy, like Lucille Ball.
I
And
love
so
that.
this Halloween, we went ahead and we dressed. And I got to tell you,
No.
yeah, we dressed like exactly like it. And I've never had so many people reach out and be like, oh my God, I could never figure out, like, I couldn't put my finger on who you remind me of. And now I know. And so I thought, you know what, let's start there. But then the thing that I think is the most quirky is that, and I've been doing this for 10 years since my husband and I have been together, is that every single morning, and this is before TikTok was the thing, every morning I would wake up and I'd be like, what's my song of the day? What's my song of the day?
Love it.
And he always gets up before me because I do my little thing in bed where I ground myself and I'm ready for the day. And I've got like my intentions and all that and my song. And he would go down, he'd have his cup of coffee and he'd be sitting on one of the two chairs. And next thing you know, I would come down and on my phone, I would play the song and I would dance. And I dance for him every single morning. And
I love it.
the best part is that he would, there's songs that I know he likes better than others, but it's dependent on like really my mood of the day.
Oh,
So
yeah.
it would be like his litmus test of how's Hilary doing right now. So I did have a social media, an executive once say, you need to get on social media and start recording these every day. And I did it twice.
Yeah.
And after the second morning, I'm like, it's damping.
It's ruining it.
Like I feel like I'm on a stage where before it's like just me being like crazy,
Yeah.
me, crazy Hilly out there shaking her thing, where I started to hold back. And I looked at my husband, E, and he's like, you can't do this. We
No.
can't be recording. This is our little thing. So I do have something else that I've now incorporated that dancing into what I do, but that is like one of my favorite things and I love it. And I haven't done it this new year though. I've just thought about that. I'm like, what happened?
It's the 6th, Hilary.
I need to, tomorrow, the 7th, I'm going to put
Let's
on my
go.
dancing shoes again. I'm done. As you said, I'm done. I'm done like playing small. I'm going to dance for him tomorrow like he's never seen it.
That's right. Let's go. I love that so much. And this is why I love this show, because we have amazing powerhouse women, but behind each of them, there's a human who's figuring it out in their own quirky, wonderful ways. And I'm totally going to steal that from you. We're big dance party people at my house. I don't think I've ever said this on the show. We have little tiny disco lights that once the sun goes down in my like kitchen grand area or whatever, we plug it in, turn on some music, and my kids and I we're like big dance people. But I've never thought of starting my day that way.
Oh,
and
yeah.
I like it. I'm
And
doing
a
it.
song of the day. So
That's what I mean.
You literally can be like, and by the way, there are some songs that I use over and over.
Oh,
Like,
for sure.
My go-to.
Yeah.
But I have to say, sometimes I'll hear something and I'll be like, oh, I put it on my list. I'm like, oh, I'm going to bring that one in one of these days. So
I love it. Okay. Well, good tip. Ladies, if music moves you, which I know it does for so many of you, a song of the day, and a dance as you're coming out. I like it. I like all of it. All right. We are going to dive deep. So I love talking about that pivotal moment just in general, because one thing that I've noticed is that women who create real impact, there's always this moment, or at least this time frame. Sometimes it's quiet and sometimes it's incredibly disruptive, but where they stop waiting to be chosen, right? And I know that you have had several chapters like that probably, but I really want to zoom in. Take us back to a moment, could be maybe a short season, where you truly decided to stop being small, stop waiting, right? Whatever it happened to be, and step into your power. Not theoretically, not someday, but for real. That moment where you really stopped waiting to be chosen and started choosing yourself.
So there's a reason that my company is the ReLaunch.
I love it. I love it.
So I can remember it like it was tomorrow and yesterday and the future and the past and all the different time periods, because I can see it and visualize it, and I modify it based on how I'm incorporating it into where I'm going. But I look at it as it was that stake in the ground. It was,
Okay.
I'm driving up my driveway. I've been gone working at high tech giant Oracle for almost 10 years. I was at the top of my career. It was an amazing time for me business wise, but I had three little kids at home. I was just going through a divorce. I had just been diagnosed with melanoma. And I drive up, and the garage door kind of did one of those like clink, clink. Oh my God. Oh my God, it's going to break on me right now.
At
And
this moment.
I was so depleted at that point. I'm so tired. I had gotten home late. I knew that dinner was going to be like pushed back and all this stuff. And I just sat there and I watched this garage door, and I thought, oh my God, it's literally breaking down. And I thought, oh my God, it's a mirror reflection of me. I'm breaking down. I don't even know what's going on with my life anymore. I had no idea. So I pull into the garage, I get into the house, and my mom had been watching my kids for all these days. House was a disaster. Mom was in the kitchen. Food was not even remotely ready for dinner. The kids were like going crazy. And I kind of gave her a look that only a mom would know. I was,
Yep.
where the heck is dinner? Like, I know I'm not proud of this. Remember, you said,
I said,
but
yep.
she looked at me and she said, where has Hilary gone? Where has Hilary gone? And I'm like, first off, I got pissed because I'm like, what the hell does that even mean? I go
Yeah.
upstairs and I look in the mirror. I don't even recognize myself. And I hear, as I did sitting in the driveway watching the garage, I'm done. And it became this like roar. I'm done. I'm so done with all of this. And it was literally the next week that I quit. And I had no real plans, but I'm like, I'm not going to do this anymore. And people would look at me and say, what the heck are you doing? You're at the height of your career. There's so much, like, what are you doing? And I had just been, the president of the company had just reached out to me asking me to do something where he had just left the company and went to a company called Kleiner Perkins. It's a venture capital firm. And he called and said, hey, is there any chance that you could come and just help coach our our CEOs, because they seem a little lost and I know you could do this. And it was almost like, okay, wow, the yellow brick road was like starting to, but I had to like take this deep breath and be like, where am I going? What am I doing?
Yeah.
And I have no idea how anything is going to turn out, but I knew I couldn't continue doing what I was doing.
You know what? I love that moment. It's not flashy, right? I mean, it's, some embarrassing little pieces in it, maybe, but it's so decisive. And your inner voice was so loud, like you said, just roaring, like, I'm done. And I think so many women are waiting for like confidence to show up, right? Or for, like you said, you had no real plan. They want the plan laid out, right? They want the yellow brick road all laid. But that path, that confidence, it's built in the decision to do something different, right? It's built in that movement that's scary, that is full of, I don't even know, not knowing where you're going, no steps ahead of you, right? That's where it's at, but listening to inner you, and you heard inner Hilary and she was done.
Yeah. And what was really interesting is that I call her the wise woman, my intuition. And she
Ooh.
was so desperately trying to share with me that I needed to do something different. I mean, look at me. I was a disaster. I was getting
Yeah.
divorced, had melanoma. I mean, I was literally, it was screaming at me. And I was kind of hearing it, but
Yeah.
I wasn't listening to it. I just
Well, and
putting up new walls and doing, oh, I'll just get busier. I'll just put more on my list. And,
yeah.
doing more to avoid
Oh,
what
yeah.
I knew I had to do.
Yeah. And, if you're okay with it, I actually think that I want to dive a little bit deeper here because I think this is where a lot of women struggle, to tell you the truth, because so many of us have success on paper, right? Like you look at our life from the inside or from the outside in, black and white, it all looks great. But internally, we're a hot mess, right? Or maybe we feel misaligned or we're just not fulfilled. Our life is amazing, but we don't love it, right? And so you've talked openly about hitting walls in this one that you just mentioned, obviously, that pivotal moment, but you've openly discussed burnout and financial betrayal and health crises. And I mean, across the board, so many things. What do you think those moments really taught you about leadership from the inside out? And I think you even have some of that built into what you do if you want to like take our audience there and give them some tips on that too.
So the way I look at this is, and I wrote about it in my book, Relaunch, Spark Your Heart to Ignite Your Life. We have this hallway, and sometimes it's hell in the hallway. That's the chapter. And we have all these situations that have happened in our lives, we've got things that went down. And what we do is we shut the door, we close it. We close it and we just keep going. But the problem is, we as humans, and I've been studying neuroscience for 15 years and I have a psychology degree, we as humans, that are the way our brain is wired, is that the things that we don't kind of bring out into our own world, our own reality, they will lie dormant, like they're behind the wall, they're behind that door, until there's a time where it will resurface. They
Yes,
always do. And I call them
always.
bugs, beliefs underground surfacing. And majority of the time, they're not the real positive bugs. There's the negative, the limiting beliefs. And so what will happen is you're going along and okay, things are great. I'm going to will myself to just keep going. You talk about burnout. I'm just going to go. I'm going. Add more to your plate, add more to your plate. Well, all of a sudden, a bug will go either under the door, because there's that space, or through the
Mm-hmm.
keyhole. The keyhole. And
Mm-hmm.
next thing you know, you have to deal with it.
Yes.
And so you talked about financial betrayal. I've had multiple companies, and one of the ones that I like to actually bring up because I think it's been the biggest lesson for me in leadership is a company I raised almost $10 million for. It was a security company to keep kids safe online. And I had a board member that did a Ponzi scheme and literally brought the company down.
Ugh.
And it rocked my inner soul because at that point I was doing everything I could to bring safety to tweens that were online. There were a lot of like horrible things that had happened with young girls meeting people and people
Mm-hmm.
taking their lives. And here's the thing that I honestly need everyone to think about, that when bad things happen, you have the ability to reframe it, to think about it, not from, hey, that was a terrible time in my life, put it behind the door, I don't want to talk about it. Instead, there's a lesson there that you are supposed to learn. And you had talked about the woo at the beginning, and
Yeah,
I'm like as left brain as you can get, but having had a near death experience when I was young, I definitely now believe who knew woo could be so good for you, because
yeah.
there's a lot that when you really trust into your intuition, when you really lean into the power of you, that you can take these horrific, awful things that have led you to where you are and redefine them and allow yourself to look at it very differently. And when you can do that, and when I can look at, if I hadn't had that happen, where he literally ended up going to federal prison for 3 years,
Oh, geez.
I was involved in the SEC investigation. If that hadn't happened, I can't tell you that I wouldn't be able to discuss with clients that are 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 figures all right, here's what we need to be aware of with board
Mm-hmm.
members, with people that come in that claim that they're going to be bringing you amazing things and this partnership is going to be the greatest. And when things don't work out, by having a conversation with me about a lot of these things, I can actually help you circumnavigate having
Yeah.
that happen to you by my stories, by my life, by my own relaunches. So
Right.
there's something truly important about being able to look at your life as a series of events. And you are the accumulation of all these incredible women that have gotten through all of the hardships to make you who you are today. If you think of like a nesting doll, and you have that outer layer. And you know how sometimes when you turn that outer layer of a nesting doll, it has that high pitched squeak.
Oh, yes.
It's like the nails on a chalkboard.
Yes. Yes.
And you're like, oh my God, that's horrible.
Yes.
But then you get through it and you go to the next level and the next level and the next level. This is what we do with helping you understand who you are, where you're meant to be, and allow yourself to love life again in all areas. You heard me say relaunch to a rich life, rich
Yes.
in health, in wealth. Yes, we absolutely want to have 6, 7, 8, 9-figure businesses, but we also want these great relationships. And
Mm-hmm.
I've just come off of about the last 10 months where my next book is coming out and a movie that is, I've been interviewing women that have hit 7+ figures.
Ooh.
And it's so interesting because did you know there are only 1.7% of women that actually cross over into 7 figures?
No.
When I heard that, I'm like, what?
What?
Are you crazy? So it is my mission. Literally, this is what I am on the planet to do, is
I
to
love it.
allow women to cross over into that next level of success, but also have a 7+ figure identity that is
Yes.
included. Because it's not just, let me tell you, I've had the wealth. I've had a lot of success. And it does not automatically say you're going to have this happy life. It doesn't.
Oh, no.
It doesn't. So
Nope.
instead, we create a 7+ figure identity. That's the first place we start in working.
Yeah.
First place. And then we back into now, how do we put everything you're doing through the lens of the 7+ figure to
That.
allow yourself to have a business that actually scales and grows and sustains and allows for exits. And, a lot of times I'll even start talking to women. I'll say, what's the end game? The end goal here. What do you really want to do? And they'll be like, it's a great question. No, it's the first question.
It's the start. Yes.
The start. And this all has to do with you being willing to go there, having your I'm done moment, which I get people to
Yes.
admit that we all have them.
Oh, yes.
But which is the real I'm done moment? Which is the one that kind of like simmers up and then boils and then blows like a huge volcano?
Yes.
That's when you're like, I now can take this to the next level.
You're listening to another episode of Empowered and Unstoppable. We'll be right back after a quick word from our sponsors. Are you ready to take your success to the next level? Visit www.meganbunnellcoaching.com. Well, and I love all of that so much because, and I think it's so important what you do and just for women to reflect on all of that, because neuroscience, the like science piece of me, tells me that when we are misaligned, when we're dysregulated, when we're stuck, when we're looping, when we're blowing up, logic can't save us. We need logic, right? Like that's important. But all of that you mentioned, it's financially, it's emotionally, it's mentally, it's relationally, it's neurologically, right? Like it's really all of it. And I love that you need to get to that point that you're willing to open your eyes to see all of that and recognize and listen to your intuition, like you said, and listen to, where it is that you want to be so that you back up. And thank you for being the person that can help people get there.
It's super interesting because you just brought something up. when I think about Earl Nightingale.
Hmm.
He said something so profound to me that's always resonated, that he said, there are very few things that the great thinkers have all agreed upon. And he said, the one thing that everyone agrees upon is that your thoughts create your reality.
100%.
Let's just talk about that for a
That's
second.
crazy, right?
I mean, if we know that to be true,
Yep.
and know that you have this incredible brain of yours, this mind that we know we're only using 10%,
And it's the most powerful tool we have.
powerful. What is stopping us from leveraging it strategically? How do we tap into that? How do we go from feeling like we're burned out to all of a sudden feeling like we have an unlimited supply of energy? And so
Oh, yeah.
I take people on this journey, and I feel like I'm like the guide that has been, brought in here to relaunch you into that next best version of you and your life. And how do we take it? And going back to the music,
Yeah.
I have a process, and it's based on a concept called 3HQ. The three H's are the head, the heart, and the highest self. And a lot of times people are like, oh my God, I don't have my intuition. I don't even have that anymore. How can I tap into it? I'm like, I got you. I can definitely help you there. But more importantly, what I'm finding with women, especially women 35 plus, is that they never feel like they have a lot of energy anymore. Like
Oh, right. Yeah.
our tanks are always empty. We're revving the engine so hard that just fumes are coming out. And so I have spent years studying this and created a process, very simple. Everything about what I do is so simple. And it's 2 minutes or less to energetically get you to a higher vibration. And if I can, it's super fast. I can walk you through it and you'll be like, oh my God, this is huge.
Yeah.
What I've seen is people who do this and not just do it once a day, but like multiple times a day, they are seeing not just 2x of their revenues, but 10x, 20x, because it's all relative. If everything is energy, everything, money is energy.
All of it.
If I can up level your energy, then it would make sense based on science that you then are attracting in a higher state of energy, more success.
Yes.
So the way we do it, and it hits 3HQ, because it's the simplest way to do this, is first step is, what is your biggest challenge that you're going through right now? And you are willing to go there and say, this is my biggest challenge. And it's very head-based, 3HQ,
Yeah.
head, heart, highest self. So Megan, what is your biggest challenge right now?
Right now, I think my biggest challenge is time. So I have 4 very little kids and 2 businesses and all the things, and family and school and sports and blah blah blah. I would say that time is my biggest challenge.
Okay. So knowing that,
Hmm.
no judgment on it. We just know that that's what you're
Yep.
facing. Time's limitation. 4 kids, 2 businesses. You're a busy lady.
Yeah.
So then we go to step 2, and step 2 is all around the highest self,
Okay.
energetically taking you up, and it's called change the channel.
Okay.
When you think you have a challenge from step 1, that is literally energetically at a lower level. You're thinking,
Oh yeah.
I have no time. Oh my God, when am I going to be able to do this?
I'm so overwhelmed. I'm bogged down. Yep.
I have no time for myself.
Yep.
I'm going to put in any self-time, all this good stuff. The
Yeah.
way we energetically get ourselves to a higher level is through song. And I'm going to ask you, what is your go-to song that when you hear it, energetically, you cannot be at a low level? It automatically takes you higher. What is your song?
Oh my gosh. So I'm a very music kind of person. So I think this would be a different answer depending on the day. But I would say today, based on my drive to schools this morning, This Girl Is on Fire. That's a new one for me, but it was like,
Amazing. Okay. That's one
yeah,
of my favorite. It is actually one of my go-tos as
I
well.
love it.
So neuroscience says, in order to change your state, You need to hear it either in the physical world or internally. Your brain doesn't matter. Your
It
mind
doesn't know.
doesn't
Yeah.
care if it's internal or external. This is the greatest part. You can do this anytime, anywhere, and nobody will know what you're doing. So, what I want you to do is close your eyes, and for 20 seconds, that's the magic number. I want you to hear "This Girl Is on Fire" and move your body head to toe. Move your body. You're not moving your body, you're moving your head. Move your body. That's right. And it's 20 seconds, everyone. Easy, easy, easy enough to do this. All right. Another 5 seconds. You got it. Keep going. Now open your eyes and we go into step 3. And step 3 is all about movie in your mind. Movie in your mind. And this is where you see yourself, Megan, on stage, hearing the song, and everyone's looking at you like, how did you figure out time? You've done it. You mastered it. And you are at a higher level and that you're wearing something. What color are you wearing?
White.
White. You're
like
at
gray.
10x.
Yeah.
10x
Yeah.
the white. It is so vibrant. And
I
how
love
are
it.
you
So bright.
feeling right now? How are you feeling right now? You have figured out this whole time thing. How do you feel?
I feel great. I'm like standing strong. I feel tall. I feel powerful. Like I'm on fire. Literally,
Okay.
this girl is on fire.
Okay,
Yes.
and you are looking at people's faces in the audience, and they're
So
looking
many.
at you like, "Tell me more, Megan. Tell me more. How did you do it?" And it's just coming out of your mouth. It's like just,
Yes.
and the last step is what I call a micro pop. And
Okay.
the micro pop goes back to the head, 3HQ, head, heart, highest self. We're back to the head. And this is where, again, the smaller the action, the better your mind looks at it and says, I want more of that. I want more of that. I want more of that. It's not the big things that matter. So, right now, thinking about time, thinking about you having the ability to now take over this limiting challenge, what could you do right now today that would be one of those things that you said to the audience? You tune back in. So you're elevating yourself and you're like, what could I do to make a difference that's super small? A micro pop. What would that be?
Oh, a difference for me, a small little one. I think this sounds anti being structured by time, but like taking small breaks so that my mind can get right back at it, right? So I'm not like bogged down. So I think
That is
taking 2 minutes here, taking 2 minutes here so that I'm always fresh,
all
always
I want
fresh.
you to do. All I want you to do on this one is just as soon as we are done with the show, you are
Yes.
going to take a 2-minute break.
Deal.
And that is what ends up, what we call pop the champagne moments. That ends up releasing, because what I didn't share with you is every single step, the 4 steps, has one of the happy hormones that you naturally have in your head. It automatically releases through your body.
I love it.
So now all of a sudden you've got dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, and endorphins literally flooding your body. So the more you can tune in this 4-step process, again, challenge, then you elevate yourself with changing the channel with music, 20 seconds. Then you go into mini movie of the mind. You see yourself, you're highlighting all 5 senses. You're literally, people are looking at you saying, oh my God, you've done it. Tell me more, tell me more.
Yes. Yes.
4-step micro pop, you do one small thing. You are literally right then and there rewiring, reprogramming yourself for success.
I love it. And my friends, if you were listening and you weren't doing it with me, answering it on your own, this is an identity level change. Like you need to jump on board with what is this 3HQ
So it's
situation?
this is tune in. So what I want to do
Okay.
is hold you
Tune in.
accountable. I want to hold you
Okay.
accountable. So on, let's say, Instagram,
Yeah.
Hilary DeCesare, I want you to DM me.
Okay.
Done. After you've done your 2 minutes.
Oh, I like it.
Okay.
I like it. I like it. Yes. And so if you're out there listening, if you want to feel different, this is just, Hilary, one of a multitude of tools that you have to really help them relaunch, right? Like, and that felt amazing. I honestly can feel the energy difference in my body. Like truly just talking
It's
about time. I
science.
mean,
It's
I was doing
science.
great. And then you mentioned my challenge and I was like, yeah, no, I am. Yeah, time is a challenge. And now it's amazing. It's
So
absolutely
imagine,
amazing.
Megan, you do this before every one of your meetings the rest of
Oh,
the day.
yeah.
You tune in right before. How many times have you gone into a meeting where you're like, I have no clarity of what we're even doing? This,
Oh, 100%.
this
Yes.
allows you to have either you identify the challenge of the next meeting or the intention of it. What are you
Yes.
hoping to get out of it? So I tuned in before I came on your show. And my whole thing, and it takes 2 minutes or less, 2 minutes or less. And what I did was I literally said, my intention is to spark somebody into literally saying, I'm done. I want to relaunch. I need something right now. So that
I
was
love
my
that.
intention. I had my song. I put in, it was actually Unstoppable. Then
Woo!
then my third one is I saw your audience out there. I visualized all these little like, lights lighting up in the world.
Oh,
And
yeah.
then my micro pop was as soon as I hit join, it automatically, that was it. I'm joining now.
I love it. And, I would love everyone that's lighted, that's lit up out there by you, but that's listening, that this is touching. I want them to actually see themselves on the other side of this work. And I know this is just one tiny piece, right, of what you do with everyone. So I want them to understand it and really feel it, not just theoretically, but emotionally. So when women actually apply this work, what you do with them, when they align their head and their heart, their highest self, what becomes possible? Can you paint that picture for them? What's out there waiting for them when they do this work?
Okay, I have like hundreds upon hundreds, but
I'm sure.
I'm gonna give you one that the one who just popped into my head because I owe her a call back right now is a woman named Allie. And she came in, she was not woo, she was a former attorney. She started this big business that she was trying to grow. She had hit this like plateau around 250,000, couldn't grow, couldn't go, couldn't grow, couldn't grow. We take her through the relaunch process, and it's this incredible Flip Your World program that we have. And she ended up in the first year being able to actually get past the 7-figure mark. Then she is now going
Ooh.
for 8 figures. So I believe it's been 2 years. And she's like, okay, I am all in. Whatever you're
Oh
saying,
yeah.
energetically, woo. I do a lot of ancient wisdom. I go back in, time to a lot of the historical authors like Napoleon Hill, Florence
Yes.
Scovel Shinn, and I incorporate it in because there's so many lost messages that we can leverage into our success.
Oh
And
yeah.
so that is just one that just popped in, but there's relationships that have changed. There's businesses that by just small changes, modifications, it's opened up amazing new opportunities. I believe that what one of the gifts, and I probably could have told this one in my very opening, is that when I did get divorced, and I was kind of like, okay, I'm going to get married really fast right after. There's no way I'm going to stay single. Well, year 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 went by, and I'm like, what is happening?
Wait,
I'm gonna
wait.
be, I'm gonna be this like old lady, and I want to be married again. I want to find that great guy. So I went to New York and I became a certified matchmaker at the
Ooh.
International Matchmaking Institute. And what's interesting, I did not end up becoming I got certified, but I didn't do the matchmaking, but I take my skills and I match women to other women with businesses and collaboration. So I feel like I have this
Oh.
gift of, and that's part of why I have my once a year big event, is that I literally do my matchmaking at the event to make sure that all of the women in the room leave. And I think right now we're over 10 million in opportunities that came from just the last one that we just did in September, of the businesses and what they're doing, and clients that they got. And I mean,
Love
it's
it.
insane. It's so good. But I think that that's part of, I want everyone to think, when you energetically are at a high level, that's where law of resonance is operating. But what is resonating? What are you going for? Your goals. We're at the beginning of the year. What are the goals you're going for? Because they're not low. They're not down at burnout. They're not down.
No.
They're at the higher level. And so for those that have been like, I have no idea what I'm supposed to do, tune in. Tune in. Start there.
Yep. Start there. I love it. And I think some women might be out there listening and thinking this is amazing. I want some of that for sure, but I don't know if if she's the person I'm supposed to work with. Am I the right client? And just tell us, who is it that would, aside from literally everybody on the planet, but who is it that you're looking for that you think is an amazing candidate to truly be relaunched? Who is that woman, or who is that company? Who is that to you?
So here's the thing. I believe that if you right now kind of like sat up a little in your chair, or you're kind of like, it's something I said resonated with you, that's where energetically you and I are on the same plane, which is
Yeah.
powerful. If you're
Yes.
you're like, I don't get this woman at all, not my person, not. But here's the thing, where I think I have the most amount of success is kind of like Allie, where you've been doing this, you're trying to make this happen, you're trying to figure it all out, and you know that you're meant for more, right?
Yeah.
And you thought you'd be further along today than you are. And there's this bit about like, I don't want to be irrelevant.
Hmm.
I want to make a difference. I want to be happy. I want to have joy in my life again.
Yes.
Then, then you need to reach out to me, because that's where that lights me up. And I've
Yeah.
often said to people, I don't need to be doing this. I have been on the show The Secret Millionaire. I've had so many opportunities to have these amazing, like, go do this, go do that. I want to do this. I want to do this because I love getting text messages. I love getting DMs. I love seeing somebody who thought, is this all there is? Is this like, is this my destiny? Is this it? Okay.
Yes.
No, not bad. I'm okay. I'm good. I want you to be great. I want you to have
Yeah.
that rich life. I want you to have it in all of the areas of health, of wealth, and relationships. So if that person is out there right now, and if you are literally thinking like, yeah, one of my areas is really great, the others aren't, or I am ready, like, why do we limit ourselves?
Yeah.
Make this your I'm done moment. Oh my God.
I love that.
Like,
I love it.
I'm done playing small. How about that?
Yeah. Well, and I love something you just said, and I feel like that's the real flex is I feel like people try and they grind, and you had said this a couple times before, they just add more to their plate, right? But it's not about grinding harder, it's about living richer. And you just said that. It isn't about just the money, right? It's all of the pieces is what makes life rich. And so if you're out there and you resonate, you can feel it. Maybe you even tried the little tune in real quick and you can feel the difference, then Hilary is your woman. So, Hilary, I have one question, and then I want you to just tell us all the things about how to find you and how to get more Hilary, because I'm convinced that we all need more of you in our life. But I want you to give my audience, if you're willing, one last thing. If every woman in the morning woke up to a magical sticky note on her bathroom mirror with something on it that you specifically crafted, what would it say?
Ooh, that is so good. I would say that there's something I call the Shigo, and it's your future 7+ figure identity. And you literally, right now, take the first step to becoming her. Take the first step to becoming her, because she so desperately is trying to come out. She wants to. She's just waiting for you to say, now's the time.
Let that land, my friends. Take the first step to becoming her. So good. Can I tell you the truth about life? I really have these sticky notes on my mirror because they're just so good. And that one is going on after I take my 2-minute break, because I promised you that I would. After that, putting the sticky note on my mirror so that it's there for me in the morning. And my friends, you should do the same thing. So if this conversation lit something up in you, I hope you did the tune in, and I hope that you could really feel your energy rise. I hope that you're loving what you're hearing. I know that I did. And you want to connect more with Hilary. Hilary, tell us where do we go? Where can we start?
I think the best place is literally go to Hilary DeCesare on Instagram and DM me.
Okay.
DM me and just say, how about this? I'm done. I'm done. And then I will ask you certain questions to make sure, because, hey, where are you really thinking you need a little bit more of the guidance?
Yeah.
And then you can always check us out at relaunch.com.
I love it. Okay, so the relaunch.com, Hilary DeCesare. If you don't know how to spell that, that's DeCesare. But those will also be in the show notes. So please don't hesitate to scroll down, check it out, and please reach out. And what are we saying? We're saying, I'm done.
I'm done.
I love it. I know that we all need a relaunch, and we would love to relaunch with you. So Hilary, thank you. Thank you for your honesty and sharing your experiences, your wisdom, and the tune in. Oh my goodness, I can still feel that energy through my body. And I love that you have just given us permission to move, to start, to get it going, to get that energy rising, and to think of our 7-figure self and take one step to becoming her, even if we don't feel ready. And to every woman out there listening, if you've been waiting for that clarity, for permission, for confidence, this is your reminder. Your movement personally creates momentum. And Hilary, I love when you said that when I was dancing, you're like, move your whole body. Movement creates momentum, and momentum creates that identity that you can already access now, because that creates everything else. Like Hilary said, the energy. It's all about the energy. It's all about our brain, those thoughts. I mean, all of it is connected. So if this spoke to you and you need that energy, and you know there's a piece of your life that you need to relaunch, reach out to Hilary. And if this spoke to you, please make sure that you share it with your friends, that you share it with somebody that you know needs to hear it. Like and subscribe, and make sure that you are reaching out to Hilary with I'm done as a DM. Right, Hilary? Is there anything else that you want to leave my guests with?
I got to say, Megan, you are fantastic. I mean, you have a heart of gold. I can feel it energetically. And I would even put out there that I, would love to have a follow-up call with you. I got a lot of great things that I do with time and time management. Trust me, I've got 5 kids now.
Oh, yeah.
There's some real hacks that you can do. And so I just want to say thank you for having me on, and I'm super excited to have connected with you.
Oh, me as well. And thank you for your time and for being here. And to my listeners, as always, you're more powerful than you think, and you are allowed to want more. It is waiting for you. You are absolutely capable of becoming unstoppable. So we'll see you next time on Empowered and Unstoppable. Enjoy your week. Thanks for tuning in to Empowered and Unstoppable. If today's episode spoke to you, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and share it with a friend who needs a boost of empowerment. Are you ready to take your success to the next level? Visit www.meganbunnellcoaching.com. Remember, you're not just capable, you're unstoppable. See you next time.